We are literally 1 week away from early access to Gears 5 via the Ultimate Edition, and we heard all about the Horde mode, Escape mode, the map builder, and the multiplayer, but the campaign has been kept under wraps for seemingly forever, leading people to speculate that there must be something wrong, that it might be a short campaign, maybe even 6 hours long. But today, campaign previews hit across the web for many different types of media, and honestly, it's all glowing, and it sounds like Microsoft and the Coalition are going to have a huge hit on their hands. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everybody's having a great day. You know, I celebrated my birthday this week on Tuesday. I want to thank you guys for all the well wishes. Kind of took the week off from making videos, but we're back at it. We got the podcast later, so we'll get back in the regular thing of things. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing for the channel for future content. Gears 5. Man, I spent most of my morning reading the campaign previews from Windows Central Gaming and GameSpot and all the other ones because I wanted to know what I was getting myself into, and quite frankly, it's so freaking good. Now, I had my doubts that the Coalition could expand upon Gears 4, kind of bring Gears into the modern gaming landscape. You know, people are kind of getting a little sick and tired of linear corridor shooters, and it was time for Gears to evolve, and that's exactly what all the previews are saying. Now, I'm going to link them all below, but I'm going to read a couple snippets here so you get a sense of what we're talking about. So Windows Central Gaming says, Gears 5 evolves the formula with open world sections, side objectives, and mild RPG progression, all without sacrificing the dense cinematic gameplay Gears is known for. This is the evolution the franchise needed. Did you hear that? Open world sections, side objectives, mild RPG progression? What is this? It's crazy to think that those things are going to be in a Gears of War game, right? This is something that people have wanted forever, for Gears to evolve. Now, it's not truly open world, which I'll get to in a minute, but just reading that, I don't know, man. It gets me really excited. Finally, we got some games coming out. Just finished Control, finished Man of Medan earlier, gonna play through Blair Witch, maybe even get Astral Chain, and then here's Gears 5 and Borderlands. Oh, man, I just love gaming so much. So COG Connected, they say Gears 5's campaign is the biggest change yet. After a few hours playing, it's looking like the shakeup the franchise needed. GameSpot says, I played about 5 hours of Gears 5's campaign, huge open levels, classic Gears style arenas, creative combat that focuses on player choice. I really hope it holds up after the first 5 hours because I definitely want to play more. And Press Start Australia says, bigger and better. Well, it certainly seems the Coalition weren't lying when they said this was the biggest campaign and Gears game they've ever made. Now, the big kind of change to it all is the open world aspect. And I'm sure you guys have seen some of the videos of, Kate kind of sailing around in her skiff. Now, the game's not truly open world like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so don't go thinking around that you'll have a gigantic open world and you can just go anywhere, because that is definitely not the case. There are still sections that are completely linear, but it's set up more wide linear, more like Metro Exodus, where you'll come into a huge area and it'll point you off into your campaign mission off in the distance. You can even bring up the map with the press of a button. You have a compass to guide you, but there'll be certain landmarks you can actually go to where Dell and Kate will have a conversation, and maybe they should get off and explore. And when you do explore, you might find relic weapons, which are kind of Easter egg weapons. Maybe think like a sniper rifle that actually can chamber 2 bullets, but most of the time you'll find collectibles or perhaps upgrades to Jack for the RPG progression system. So yeah, RPG progression system in Gears. It's light, and it's not for your character or your crew. It's for Jack, the, playable third person in the game. Now, if you're playing single player, you can kind of tell him what to do. He can shock enemies with a, electric bolt. He can basically give you health back or put shields around you. He can even turn the team invisible because, unlike in other Gears games, when you get into an area where there's enemies, previously, every single one of those enemies would know exactly where you are. But not in this Gears. You can actually kind of stealth your way, kill the enemies before one of them sees you, but basically try to set up a tactical advantage where you can kill as many as you can before they see you. And Jack really helps with that because he can basically make the team invisible. In fact, when you retreat, he'll drop traps, so any, following swarm will go into the traps and die. So it really opens up the combat options. But man, this really does sound like the Gears of War that we've wanted. Open world, RPG elements, and the campaign length. I know a lot of people have been curious to know how exactly long this campaign is. There was a lot of people saying 5 hours long, and 6 hours, and 7 hours, and 8, and oh my god, the Coalition can't make a long game. Microsoft is going to screw this one up again like they screwed everything else up, right? I'm sure you guys have heard all that before. But they basically said no. If you ignore the side missions and don't explore, the campaign's probably going to take you around 12 hours depending on difficulty. But if you do want to take your time, if you want to see everything that the game has to offer, do all the side quests, get all the upgrades, find all the collectibles, truly do everything that the Coalition is putting in here for you in this huge campaign, it's going to take you more than 20 hours. They weren't kidding when they said Gears 5 is the biggest and the deepest Gears game they've ever made. I mean, just think about it. Gears 5 has a 20-hour campaign, it has a brand new arcade mode, so noobs like me won't get sick of getting shotgunned to death alongside all the regular modes that everybody loves, with new content, maps, characters dropping every 3 months, a brand new escape mode, a new map builder so you can have like many different types of maps to run through escape mode in, and of course the horde mode. It is the complete full package. But I know for a lot of people, what they're really interested and concerned about was the campaign, because it was hidden for such a long time that it made you think, you know what, there's something wrong with what's going on here. Why are they hiding this? But man, after today, you don't gotta worry anymore. Just take a look at all the GIFs on Twitter, read all these previews, and get excited for next week, because the Coalition is gonna deliver perhaps one of the best Xbox games this entire generation. But there was another little quote here that I saw in one of these articles about Rod Ferguson and the freedom he actually has. Because I know a lot of people have this misconception that Matt Booty and Phil Spencer, they tell everybody, hey, you're at 343, you're making Halo. You're at the Coalition, you're only making Gears. You have to make the games that we want. But that's not true, right? So Rod Ferguson insisted that his studio is free to make whatever games they want, as opposed to operating from a business directive. And I quote, "Just make a great game," he said. "If I wanted to make a survival horror Gears of War, I have the freedom to do that so long as the decision is made on the team level." And when Rod Ferguson was asked, has Microsoft been good about the changes to the Gears of War franchise, he responded with, they actually don't have any creative input at all. That's one of the nice things about how Matt Booty runs the studio organization, and Phil Spencer as well, was really just about trusting the studio heads. It's really about trusting the studio heads and the teams there to recognize what's the best way to leverage whatever it is they're building. So there you go. The Coalition and Rod Ferguson can build whatever game they want. They aren't dictated to by Phil Spencer and Matt Booty. So what do you guys think about all the Gears 5 changes? Open world, RPG elements. Does this sound like the evolution that you wanted from Gears? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel for more content, and hit that notification bell if you always want to be notified immediately when I drop new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.